And now let us look at the one-to-one relationship. One-to-one relationship. So now I'll stop my development server for now. So now one-to-one relationship is what we are going to be looking at now. And the one-to-one relationship is just one record belongs to, like, it cannot be the same. For example, the one we are going to be using for this our application is for this mentor. Let's say, of course, we want to be paying our mentor, we want to place our mentor on a payment plan. So automatically we will definitely need their bank details or bank accounts. So now a mentor can only have one bank account details, and a bank account details can only belong to a mentor, and that is a typical example of one-to-one relationship. Now let us go ahead to create our class bank details, and I'll go the way of, so each model stands for a database table. So database table, and I go with the model, so I go the model way, and I just say the bank details. Of course, I'm going to be having my account number, models. The account number will definitely be an integer feed. So let's not specify, and I'm going to get the account name. I'm going to be getting the account name, and the account name, of course, will definitely be a character feed. And I want to have a max length, since this account name will take both the first name, last name, and possibly the middle name. Let's just give it 250 characters for maximum length. And I also expect the mentor to supply us the bank name, which will definitely be models dots, which will be a character feed. And of course, let me just set some banks can have a very long name. So let's just set the default max length to 250. But don't forget, I told you that if you are using the character feed, you should always ensure that you define the maximum length. So now that we have that defined already, it's now time for us to link. Now, to link your bank details to your mentor, to show that there's a relationship between the mentor and the bank details, which is a one-to-one relationship. You should either do the link, of course, for one to many, you should do the linking for the element that has just one, that can only pick one. But in here, it's either mentor pick one bank account or the bank account pick one mentor. So where should you define your relationship? You can define it either in mentor or inside bank details model, but just ensure that you cannot define it in both places. You should only define it one. Once you define it in bank details, you should not come to mentor again and define the relationship. So, and the good way to go about it is just to think of, okay, is it the mentor that have the bank details or the bank details that have the mentor? Of course, you answer the question correctly that it is the mentor that owns the bank details. So it is a good idea or a good initiative for us to add the relationship in here under the mentor. So we are going to be defining a feed here for bank details. Okay, let me just follow the naming convention, bank underscore details, which is equal to models, and this will be a relationship. Don't forget, to link a one-to-many relationship, you use foreign key, but to link a one-to-one relationship, you use one-to-one feed. That is how to link. But don't forget, you should not come back to bank details again and define it. You should only define it in one place. Now, which model am I trying to link to? I'm trying to link to this bank details model. So I just copy and paste it just to save stress of typing. And don't forget our on delete property. It also exists for this particular one. Now on delete this time around, let us use protect. Of course, we are going to be seeing it in action later, that when you want to delete a particular bank details and that bank details is attached to a mentor, it will not allow you to delete it. Unlike Cascade, that it will allow you to delete it, but to go ahead to delete the reference to. But in here, it will not allow you to delete. Once the bank details is attached to a mentor, it will not allow you to delete. Or once the mentor is attached to a bank details, it will not allow you to delete until when sorry this this protect will not allow you to delete the bank details that is attached to a mentor. That means for you to delete the bank details, you should go ahead to delete the mentor first. Then that is when you'll be able to delete the bank details. So that is the protect in action. So we can so that Django will not disturb us when we are running the migration. Let us set the null label to let us set the null label to true. That means we can take nothing for this feed. And of course, it is not a big deal if the mentor decide not to supply their bank details. Of automatically they don't want to be paid, and I believe everybody want to be paid, so they will definitely go ahead to supply their bank details. So we can set this to be the none to be true for this one, so that when we are running the migration, there will not be any issue. So now we can then save now, and now that we have linked, let us now go ahead to run. Of course, anytime you update your model, you should always run your migration. So you should always run your migration. Let me clean this. So I'll go the py manage, and I'll make my migration. So now you can see I've made my migrations. You can go and confirm if you want to be sure. But now after making the migration, I will then go ahead to migrate, which is to add the record to the database table. Now that I've migrated, I will then update or manipulate my data using the admin interface, so that we do it the easy. Of course, you can do it with the shell, but it's always good and better. It's always good and better for you to use. Of course, I've not started the application, so I should go ahead to start the application. Run server. Should go ahead to run the application. So you should always ensure that, of course, you can use the shell like I was saying, but to save yourself the time, you can also use the admin interface, and that is why we have it. Now you see that I've added the bank details model, but it's not showing here. So what I just need to do is just come in here to the admin and add the bank details and also register it. So I'll just duplicate this line, Alt Shift down arrow, and I write the bank details. Write the bank details. So see, I come here, I reload. You see now that I have the bank details. But take note of something, that I am having take note of the fact that I am having bank details with double S, because Django is trying to write them as write the plural form of the word. So what you just need to do is you can just set that yourself by having a subclass of meta, so that Django will not be spoiling the words for you. So you then go variables name plural, and I'll set the plural myself. That's okay. Plural is the bank details. Plural of that is the bank details. So of course, this class, there's in Python you can have a class as a sub or a child of another class, which is what this is not Django, but it's something you can do in Python. So just that when you want to set the plural of this particular model, instead of Django using a double S for you, you should just go ahead to set your variables name plural. Of course, there are some times that okay, you might have, for example, if I have a model like entry, Of course, Django will write the plural as entries. So you are the one that will now use this same functionality to define your plural as IEN, so that it will not be mixing things up for you. So then go back and test our application. Now if I refresh, see that the plural now is bank details. Click on it. I don't have any bank details. I will go ahead to add the bank details, fake filler. I save, and now you see that the bank details is not properly written. So I'll just come in here. I'll just use the same thing. Just let's make it life easier for ourselves, and I'll define this as account name, because let me just use bank name and account number formatted as a string. I'll go ahead to refresh now. See that we have it written properly. Now let's go ahead to add another bank details. I use the fake filler and I save. Now we have it properly written. Now let us now go to our mentor and attach the, but of course when you get to the front end of the application, you know add it one after the other, but because we are still testing, that's why we're hiding it one after the other using the admin interface. And of course you don't expect your end user to also have access to your admin interface. So now let me go ahead to this particular mentor and I attach particular bank name. Now this mentor, now let me now say I still want to attach. Of course, if you look at this particular mentor, this first one, I have attached key owner bank details. Now let's say I want to attach another bank details in here and I still use the same one. It will definitely not accept, because it will tell me that mentor with bank details already exists, because it is a one-to-one relationship, meaning that there's no how I can attach one bank details to more than one mentor. They don't expect to have the same bank details. So I will change this. So that's the benefit or advantage of using relationship, because it will make your data with structure and it will add some validation where necessary. So now I've been able to add that because I'm using a fresh bank details. Now let us now see the one delete of protect in action. So by going to our bank details, so here we have these two bank details attached to an element. Let me try to delete it. Cannot delete bank details. Deleting bank details will require deleting the following protected objects. So you see that it's telling me that I cannot delete it because I use the on delete as protect. So that is the power of on delete as protect. But unlike the cascade, it will just delete it, but it will then go ahead to delete this particular mentor. Now for me to delete these bank details, all I just need to do is just come in here. Okay, now I come to the mentor, I delete the mentor itself or himself or herself. That is when I'll be able to delete the bank details. So by coming here, now that this particular bank details is not attached to any mentor, then I can go ahead to delete it and it will be successfully deleted. So that is the power of unprotect in action.